It's been a year since Zuckerberg attempted to own the Metaverse by rebranding Facebook as Meta, but it now appears that he's already lost the race even before Meta could properly launch. Last year, much to the dismay of businesses that were already creating the Metaverse, Meta introduced the idea of a Metaverse into a wider public discourse. While Facebook changed its name to Meta in a flamboyant strategy to penetrate the already competitive Metaverse space and declare itself a Metaverse pioneer, companies and startups that were years ahead of it took note and pledged to give the social media giant a run for their money. Now, with stiff competition from internet giants like Microsoft and other big players in the Metaverse space, Zuckerberg and Meta are fast losing the race for the Metaverse. But how exactly is Zuckerberg fumbling at his biggest bet yet, and to what extent is he getting so badly beaten to it? You absolutely want to watch this video till the very end to find out just how bad things are for Mark with his high-stake bet, and how much worse the situation could get. Aside from Microsoft, 4 other big players in the Metaverse space appear to be sucking the life out of Zuckerberg and his ideas for the Metaverse. This is despite Zuckerberg's robust plan to invest $180 billion over the next 10 years in a move that sees Meta become the lead player in the Metaverse space. But this plan now appears to be flawed for a variety of reasons. As it stands, there are presently over 6 billion player accounts registered on the Metaverse, particularly in the top 10 games in 3D worlds. At any given time, there are over 2.5 billion gamers in virtual worlds, with this striking out a strategic advantage that Zuckerberg was hoping to bank on. The direct implication of this is that there are already more players today in the Metaverse than there are users on Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp combined. Despite Meta's grand entry into the 3D world, competitors were already leagues ahead of Zuckerberg, and Meta has only continued to trail the top 5 guns of the Metaverse by a margin that appears to be getting wider by the day. For context, the top 4 leading Metaverse gamers, which include Battlegrounds, Dungeon Fighter, G-Kart, and Crossfire, have 3.5 billion player accounts and are all owned by Tencent, the biggest gaming company in the world. Tencent has at least more than 2 online social payment platforms, which give it an unmatched edge and is essentially another thing that Facebook is yet to figure its way around. The company similarly owns a large stake in Epic, another fast-rising Metaverse player that's already making a name for itself, frequently hosting some of the biggest online virtual concerts. These concerts host 350 million players globally on average. But it appears that Meta's biggest competition in the Metaverse so far is Microsoft, which is now the 5th biggest gaming company in the world. Microsoft's Minecraft, one of its top Metaverse games, already has 600 million users. With Microsoft's HoloLens, it also appears that the company is far ahead of Meta as regards to its vision for the Metaverse. Microsoft is especially poised on giving Meta a tough start to life in the Metaverse. Gaming is a great entry point into the Metaverse, and Microsoft is getting that right and spot on at the moment. Microsoft going big on gaming is essentially what makes its strategy a brilliant one. While Meta is also trying to use this strategy, its Metaverse games are nothing compared to that of Microsoft or any of the leaders in the Metaverse. Meta recently released its Horizon Worlds in Spain and France in August. It's been mocked by thousands online, with many comparing the game's graphics to something that was developed in the 20th century. The game, formerly known as Facebook Horizon, has been in the works since 2019, with Zuckerberg already spending over $10 billion so far on actualizing his vision for the Metaverse. Microsoft has been especially growing a gaming empire for years, an empire that's now set to get even bigger now. Realizing how strategic owning these gaming studios was to its vision, Microsoft has been spending billions of dollars acquiring studios making games for the Metaverse. First, it acquired Minecraft for $2.5 billion as far back as 2014. Today, Minecraft is quickly becoming a mini metaverse on its own, where players can now build entire simulations of their own with thousands of simultaneous players. Meta's Reality Labs, on the other hand, has been whack, being years behind any of Microsoft's studios and indicating just why Meta will struggle to catch up. Unrelenting, Microsoft also bought ZeniMax Media for $7.5 billion in 2020, with this acquisition giving them the exclusive right to more fun Metaverse games like Fallout, Doom, and The Elder Scrolls. Like Minecraft, these games also have communities of their own that are greatly improving the user experience. More recently, Microsoft has also acquired Activision Blizzard for a staggering $69 billion. While Microsoft has continued to acquire a greater share of the Metaverse through these acquisitions and its excellent gaming strategy, Zuckerberg remains fixated on Meta's Reality Labs, which will require a great deal of investment and time to catch up with any of Microsoft's studios or that of any of the other top leaders in the Metaverse. The acquisition of Activision has further put Microsoft several steps ahead of Meta. This is especially as Activision owns some of the most popular gaming franchises presently dominating the Metaverse and the gaming world as a whole. This includes games like Call of Duty, Overwatch, and Tony Hawk, all of which are cross-platform games and are widely available on PlayStation and Nintendo consoles. In addition to these strings of acquisitions, Microsoft reportedly has over $130 billion reserved in cash and waiting to be deployed for further expansion of its vision for the metaverse. Another of Meta's competitors in the metaverse is Roblox, which has now doubled its players to over 30 million players a day. In comparison to Roblox, Meta's Oculus, Horizon Home, Horizon Worlds, and Horizon Workrooms only have about 5 million users combined, a meager 0.2% share of the 3D world today. Right now, Meta is just one of the 60 million projects that are being built on the Unity engine annually, and it doesn't appear that the brand would be able to stand out and make its mark on the metaverse just yet. Unlike social media and the 2D internet, where Facebook was quickly able to catch up by building a variety of tools after launching, the metaverse and 3D technology are sadly different. While the 2D internet was mainly built by creating pages using codes, the 3D metaverse is built on engines that create futuristic worlds. As it stands, the metaverse has been vastly built on two major engines, the Unity engine and the Unreal engine. These engines are already billion-dollar businesses, with Unity now valued at almost $50 billion since its IPO last year. Unity hosts a staggering 5 million projects every month, many of which are already popular games like Call of Duty Mobile and Pokemon. This likewise brings the cumulative annual total to 60 million projects a year on the Unity engine alone. Meta is presently building its metaverse using the Unity engine, and it's increasingly obvious that building its engine isn't an option that Zuckerberg would consider exploring. Meta's Reality Lab has already accrued over $5 billion in losses, but this would be nothing compared to the losses that could accrue from Meta trying to build its 3D engine. Unreal Engine, the other major toolbox of the metaverse, was created by Epic Games, the owners of Fortnite. Meta also doesn't have what it takes to unseat Epic Games. It's now increasingly obvious to Zuckerberg that no one company can own or represent the metaverse, and the Facebook CEO's big gamble on the metaverse might just turn out to be his biggest mistake yet. While Meta has lost the toolbox race for the metaverse, perhaps it can focus on the hardware side of things. But even that wouldn't just be a stroll in the park, as despite Oculus becoming the best-selling VR headset in the world, competition is fast catching up with it. While the internet took off with laptops and the mobile internet took off with smartphones, the metaverse is sadly not taking off with headsets, a situation that could have given Meta some leverage. The metaverse is instead taking off with gaming PCs and connected phones, greatly relieving gamers of the need to wear clunky headsets like Meta's Oculus Quest. The metaverse hardware race is presently being led by NVIDIA, especially given its graphic processing chips that are fast enabling metaverse players to have a more immersive and realistic experience of virtual worlds. The metaverse is fast becoming bigger and more immersive, providing millions of people all around the world with simultaneous access to a virtual world where full digital economies, communities, and assets are continuously emerging. As VR glasses become lighter and faster, Meta's hardware efforts are increasingly appearing to be far too little and far too late. Meta would now have to work even harder to reach even 1% of metaverse users. The situation for Zuckerberg and his plan for the metaverse may even worsen, given how significantly Meta is already trailing on all of these fronts. Inevitably, the metaverse will be the next generation of the internet, bringing a spatial experience to our already digitally obsessed society. And while it might ultimately become a necessary part of our daily lives, much like the internet and smartphones have, it's still a long way off. But while every other player in the space appears to be making robust headways, Meta appears to be without a direction.